Hello everybody and welcome to my German language course. In my previous lessons you got to know the numbers from 0 until 100 and you learned that until number 99 we Germans mention the right number first and then the left one. But from 100 onwards, or also said 100 onwards, we start mentioning the numbers from left to right. And we no longer put an and between the compound numbers, but just write them together as you can see here. 100 or simply 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 und 900. The thousands are built according to the same principle. 1000 or simply 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, 9000. Now from 1 million onwards we write the numbers separated and with a capital letter, as you can see here. And from 2 million onwards we also write it in the plural form, as you can see here at this ending, which is the plural ending for million. So we say 1 Million, 2 Millionen, 3 Millionen, 4 Millionen, 5 Millionen, 6 Millionen, 7 Millionen, 8 Millionen, 9 Millionen. Now in English, after a million would come a billion, right? We also have eine Billion in German, but a billion does not mean eine Billion. A billion means in German eine Milliarde. This is important for you to remember, so that you don't mix it up. And a trillion means in German eine Billion. So when you get asked, who do you rather like to be? Do you like to be a billionaire or ein Billionär? What would you answer? Who do you think has more money? Well, a billionaire has a billion of whatever kind of money, you know, like $1 billion, $1 billion euro or whatever. But ein Billionär has a trillion of euro, dollars or whatever currency you might think of. So it's better to be ein Billionär. But anyway, let's continue. Eine Milliarde follows the same principle like eine Million. We separate the numbers and we write it with a capital letter, and from 2 Milliarden onwards we write it in plural. That's why the ending en is here. So it goes like this: eine Milliarde, 2 Milliarden, 3 Milliarden, 4 Milliarden, 5 Milliarden, 6 Milliarden, 7 Milliarden, 8 Milliarden, 9 Milliarden, and so on and so forth. So now let's try out some numbers and see if you can guess how they are called, okay? The numbers will soon be displayed on these lines, and the red ones indicate that there has to be a switch in the mentioning order. What I mean by that is this. We start in German mentioning the numbers from left to right, just like you guys. But sometimes we mention the right one first. So we start from here, mention this one first, then this one comes second, then we mention this one, after this we mention that one, then we continue mentioning that one, then we mention this one, and after this we mention that one, then we continue mentioning this one, and so on, you know, like we mention this one first and then this. So on every red line you have to keep in mind that you have to switch the mentioning order. But you will see this now on some example and hopefully you will understand what I mean. This is the English number 14, right? So we mention this number first and this one the second, because these ones are both red underlined. So in German it's 14. And in this case, in English, you also start mentioning the right number first and the left number second, right? Because you say 14, not teen 4 or something like this. So, what about that number? Remember that we still keep on mentioning the right number first and then the left. So you say 87. Do you remember what we say in German to this number? 87. So we start mentioning the right number first and then the left one. What about this one? 99. 99. Now we have 115. So we start mentioning this number first, then this number, and then this number. So do you remember the names of the numbers? It starts with the left one, 100 or simply 100, and then 15. 5 and 10. Like in English, 15. What about this one, 215? 215. 515. 515. 915. 915. 925. Again, we start mentioning from left to right. 900. And then you say 25, but we say 25. 925. 1000. 1000 or simply 1000. 1000 or simply 1000. And together it's 1002 or simply 1002. 18,018. Now remember, we still keep on mentioning from left to right, but keep in mind the red lines. So how do we start? We start with 18,000, 18,000, and then 18, 18, 18,018. And this one is 18,025, and in German it starts again with 18,000 and continues with 25. So again, we mention here the right number first and then the left one. 18,025. Now what about this one? We start mentioning from left to right. So what is this kind of a number? 700. 700. 38,000. 38,000. So this one is 738,000, and then we just simply continue with 725. And as you can see here, the red ones are always switched in the mentioning order. 1,738,725 is translated into 1,700,000. That's the next one. Then comes 38. In German 38,000. 38,000, you know. 38,000, and then it continues with 725. 725. 46,738,725. Now let's try this in German. You can pause the video if you need some more time to guess. So let's start. 46 Millionen, as you can see here again, The right number is mentioned first and then the left. 46. But because it's a million, we still write it separated. 46 Millionen. 738.000. 738,000. And then 725. One more time. 46.738.725. I hope that this was helpful for you and not too complicated. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Simply write me a comment below. Bye bye.